In today's video, I'll be explaining all 38 finishers in the Strongest Battlegrounds. Watch to the end to see if you knew all of these or if I taught you something new. Also, the Mafia and I are on a quest to 100k subscribers and we're getting really close. So let's start with the strongest hero. Normal Punch is the first finisher that causes you to send your opponent flying much further than a regular attack. Just like the name implies, this is Saitama's normal punch that he uses all throughout the series. Normal punches are punches that Saitama throws when he is barely trying, because he already knows that his regular attacks are enough to one-shot almost everybody. So this finisher is inspired by Saitama's attacks, but not any specific one. The next finisher is consecutive punches, which causes you to punch your enemy into a pool of blood, very similar to Saitama's version of this when he fought Boros in the season 1 finale. Luckily, Boros had insane regeneration that allowed him to come back from this, but unfortunately you do not. Following that is Shove, which causes you to backhand your opponent into dust. Now, I'm not sure about this one. It is kind of like this karate chop that Saitama does to Garo, but he did not kill him with this attack. It is also similar to Mosquito Girl's death. So if you think it's either one of those, then comment it down below. Lastly is Uppercut. Inspired by his fight with Carnage Kabuto, Kabuto entered an enraged state that he claims will last 1 week. Saitama needed to do groceries and was not about to miss the upcoming sale, so he swiftly finishes Kabuto. The only difference in the game is that you don't explode them but instead send them flying. The next character is Hero Hunter. Flowing Water is Hero Hunter's first finisher, which looks like this. I believe this is inspired by Garo's use of the Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist, which was taught to him by Bang. I don't think this is a 1-for-1, but you can see a similar scene from when he fought Tank Top Master. Next is Lethal Whirlwind Stream. Now, this attack might be original to the game because I wasn't able to find anything like it, but I also didn't go through many manga panels, so if I'm wrong, let me know. Following that is Hunter's Grasp, which looks like this and reminds me of this scene when Garo was pummeling Moomin Rider for no reason. Obviously, it's not as brutal, but this type of violence is very normal to Garo's character. Lastly is Praise Peril. This is obviously inspired by his fight against the 8 A-class heroes, but that little slam you do at the end is not something that Garo actually does here. Also, Hero Hunter recently got a new form called Monster Form. We do know that this mode is inspired by Garo's monsterification that takes place. In this mode, you get 2 new finishers, Doom Dive and Crimson Whirl, but I literally couldn't find anything similar to them. Then we got my boy Destructive Cyborg and his machine gun blows. Obviously, this is inspired by this moment in Genos and Saitama's spar. But the ending of the finisher where you blast a target does not happen in that spar. This does look a bit similar to these movements he does in the same fight, but it's just not close enough, so I'd say it's OG to the game. Blitz Shot. This is something that Genos can do on command in almost any given instant, but you can see something similar in this scene where he faced off against Mosquito Girl. Finally, Jet Dive, which looks exactly like this attack that he tries to land on Saitama before following up with an Incinerate shot. But in game, you aim downwards. Now onto Deadly Ninja. Flash Strike allows you to do this. Kinda reminiscent of Speedo Sound Sonic's tenfold funeral, where he creates after images that confuse his opponents. Obviously, it's not exactly like that, but I can see where the idea came from. Whirlwind Kick is pretty cool, just like all of Deadly Ninja's finishers. The start to this attack looks like this infamous kick that he tried to land on Saitama during their first encounter, but he doesn't land it in the manga/anime, and there was no follow-up in the game. He also did this attack on the Deep Sea King, but again, no follow-up. Scatter is the definition of aura farming. The only thing that I could find that is kinda like this is from Sonic's fight with a snake, but I'm sure he does this type of stuff all the time on petty villains and heroes. Explosive Shuriken is pretty self-explanatory. It is inspired by Sonic's arsenal of exploding shuriken he uses to increase his range of attack. Brutal Demon. Firstly is Home Run. This funny finisher is original to the game. The same can also be said for Grand Slam, Foul Ball, and both their variants. The only finisher that slightly resembles the source material is Beatdown. You can see Metal Bat do a similar attack against Garo, I suppose. And just like Brutal Demon, I was only able to find one move for Blade Master that was similar to the anime/manga. Quick Slice's finisher will put you into this cutscene. Now I believe this is inspired by Atomic Samurai's most famous attack called Atomic Slash. Following that is Wild Psychic. Now she does have 4 finishers: Crushing Pull, Windstorm Fury, Stone Coffin, and Expulsive Push. Tatsumaki's most famous fight in the manga is against Saitama, and some fan animated it. I'm sure if we sat here and watched this, we could probably find similar movements or punches or kicks that look like the in-game moves, but nothing would be one for one or similar enough. But if you do disagree, please let me know in the comments, because I want to know where these come from, or if they're original to the game. Then we got Martial Artists. Bullet Barrage is the first finisher. The beginning of the finisher looks just like this sequence from Saitama's beating of Suryu. The slam down is also akin, but Suryu never rode Saitama like this. Pause. Then comes Vanishing Kick. This sorta looks like the kick that Suryu lands, which activates Saitama. Kinda janky though. Following that is Whirlwind Drop. Suryu has a similar dive attack, but with no extra slams like the in-game version. The 2 other finishers being Head First and Grand Fissure have no connection to the anime/manga that I could find. The penultimate character is Tech Prodigy. Now, not only is this character still in early access and not fleshed out, all of the finishers seem to have nothing to do with One Punch Man, to my knowledge. I might be forgetting manga material, but I don't think it's a bad idea for a character like Tech Prodigy to have its own original moves. Because even though we know a lot about Metal Knight, he doesn't really have special attacks or anything like that. He's a more well-rounded, intelligent character. But last and certainly not least, we have KJ. Ravage is the final finisher. This is taken from KJ Kills Day, where he does this exact sequence. Well, which finisher was your favorite, and which ones do they need to add to existing moves? And if you're new here, please consider subscribing, because we are on a journey to 100k. If you want to see me break down all the similarities and differences between Saitama and the strongest hero in the Strongest Battlegrounds, then click right here. Millz Mafia out. Yeah. No. Stop doing that. Look what you did. Look at the consequences of your actions. You killed him. Smack.